Good evening. Please be seated. Welcome to the 47th Annual Pinning Ceremony for Bucks County Community College AD Nursing Program. We are so happy to meet all of you. We've heard so much about you from your loved ones up on stage. At this time, I'm honored to introduce Dr. Kelly Kellaway, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you'll rise and join me in saying the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
At this time, I'm honored to introduce the president of Bucks County Community College, Dr. Stephanie Shamblatt.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Bucks County Community College. I know some of the parents and friends may not have been here before. I know the students have spent plenty of time here. But welcome to our 2018 Nursing Pinning Ceremony. Graduates, you've been working toward today for a long time, right? So, it's finally here. Congratulations. I want to offer my appreciation to Dean Connie Corrigan and to all of the very dedicated nursing faculty, many of which are seated over there. They have all worked so hard to ensure your success. I know how appreciative you are of all of the faculty. Let's thank them too. For so many, nursing is not just a career, it's a calling. I know that as you move into the nursing profession, you will find it both rewarding and at times challenging. I also know that the education that you have received here at Bucks has prepared you to meet those challenges. This evening's pinning ceremony is a time-honored tradition, and so while I know it's time to celebrate, it's also a time to reflect on the solemn promise that you will make to care for others. So congratulate yourselves, each other, on your wonderful accomplishments. I know, true to your profession, you have all helped each other along on this journey. Enjoy the evening, your bright future. Be sure to thank your family and friends, because I know that without all of you, they would not be sitting up here tonight. So one other thing I just want to add is we want to thank you for allowing us the privilege of helping you to achieve your dreams. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we will hear from our provost, Lisa Angelo.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to also welcome you to tonight's festivities. Dr. Shamblatt, Dr. Corrigan, distinguished faculty, family, friends, and especially our graduates. I know how hard you've worked to get to this night, and we all celebrate your success and dedication. I'd like to particularly thank those in the audience tonight who have helped and supported these students so that they were able to focus on their studies in order to successfully complete our rigorous program. So graduates, congratulations. You put your calling into action and pledge to serve us when we are most in need. I commend you for answering that call and wish you well as you begin your future in the healthcare service, and I thank you.
Thank you. Finally, we will hear from Dr. Connie Corrigan, the Dean of the Department of Health Sciences.
Good evening. Graduates, I fear you have one final test remaining. It's only one question. You remember that I came to visit your classrooms last August, and I told you this was going to be a very special night for me as well as you. Who can remember why? You are my first graduating class of nurses, A+. And I am very proud in some small way to have influenced your careers. And I am proud to change your title from student to colleague. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. Offering tonight's student remarks is Kelly Dozier.
And welcome family and friends of the class of 2018. I would like to start out by thanking the faculty for giving me this opportunity. I am truly honored. Throughout the program, I have said over and over that the days and the weeks are going by so long, but the weeks and the months and the years are flying by, and they truly have. I can't believe we're here right now. It seems like yesterday we were at the basic skills orientation just a few weeks before Nursing 1, where the nursing instructors scared the blank out of us. I drove home thinking, how am I going to do this? I have a husband, 3 kids, a job. I walked in through the door and started to cry. And my husband goes, "What's the matter?" I said, "I don't know what we just got ourselves into." He said, "Well, what happened?" I said, "I don't know. The instructors were talking about rocks and jars and eating frogs first thing in the morning." It was all a blur. But before I knew it, we were learning how to wash our hands, make beds, and how to put on personal protective equipment. And apparently, no one knows how to do that correctly until you're in nursing school. Who would have thought that changing a pillowcase would be so complicated? Then the first test. What a kick in the backside that was. I studied, and I even studied in a group because that's what I was told I should do. I left the testing room that day thinking, I killed it. I definitely got an A. Then I got my test score. Definitely not an A. In fact, I was half tempted to call up Mrs. Grace and find out if she misplaced my grade with somebody else's. Oh, sorry. Then I found out the key to all nursing questions, and that is, all the answers could be correct, but one answer was more correct. Really? No one thought to tell me this before the test? Nursing 3 and 4 were a blur, 12-hour clinical days, papers and projects, and of course studying, and trying to study for Kaplan. So many things occurred in such a short period of time. I set a high bar each day at clinical. I did not contract or spread any disease. Everyone received their medication, and I did not kill anyone. And through all the hustle and bustle, we would hear other nursing students say, this semester was harder than that semester, and this semester was easier than this one. And I just want to set the record straight. All the semesters are hard, and nothing about nursing school is easy, period. What was easy was making fast and furious friends. Nursing friends are like no other friends you will ever have. The things that we have done together, my God. There is something about being elbow deep in human secretions and feces that really brings nursing students together. I know that if I ever work with any one of you, I will have someone to rely on, and I thank you all for that. This has been a wild ride, and I'm so happy to get off of it. We all have studied to nauseam, lost sleep, gained weight, have stress-related health issues. We've cried, we've laughed until we've cried down our legs, and we've all worked extremely hard to make it to this point. To the nursing faculty, we thank you all for your hard work and your guidance. To the scholarship donors that made it possible for so many of us to attend, we thank you. And to all of our family and friends, we thank you for without you, many of us would not be here, and myself included. I'd like to give a special thanks to my husband, Jason, for being my rock and always believing in me. And to the class of 2018, in the words of Richard Marx, we were strangers starting out on a journey, never dreaming what we would go through. Now here we are, suddenly standing at the beginning. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, we will have Mrs. Evelyn Grace, who will come and offer remarks from the faculty.
Hi. I'm a little shorter than everybody else. Those seated behind me in the blue and white, as you can tell, have been working toward this moment for many, many years. And together, we have all become one large family, right? As with every family, we've had our ups and our downs, but today marks the end of our time together and the beginning of your new adventure. As parents watch their children leave the nest, we as your teacher parents must watch you move on. But we will always be here as we are your forever nursing family. And we are very proud of you. 2 years ago, I watched as Mike Rittiper and Melissa Morales forged a close relationship in Nursing One. Today, they credit each other for their success. Tiffany Haber and Kate Timmons became as sisters, a bond that they share today. And both credit their moms for their success. And they thank Nicholas, Kaylee, and Curtis for their unwavering support. Savannah Chase, Tara Kirk, and J.C. Knapp are grateful for their study groups because no one understands better than a fellow student. Kristen Devlin, Mark Diana, Sindel Schaefer, Kelly Dozier, and Dana Walters could not have done this without the love and support from their families. Lindsay Alvarez was inspired by her husband Scott, her daughter, and her parents. Sarah Burgess was inspired by her grandfather, Papa Doc, who passed away as Nursing One began. Holly Kennedy thanks her dad, who kept her motivated. Anna Stetler, Faith Burrell, Lauren Dell, and Megan McDonald all credit their parents, whose constant wisdom, love, and support guided their journey. Rodrigo Guzman and Tim Seal credit their wives with their success, without whom they would not be here. Lucy Sharp's husband, Dave, and her children inspired her to follow her dream, as did Rebecca Wace's husband, Zachary, and her children, Michael and Caitlin. Dawn Nolte thanks her husband, Fred. Heather Shirillo thanks her husband, Andy, both of whom believed in their dreams. Adrienne Jackson, Julia Korkruk, Jean Wasson, Layla Quimey, Hawa Johnson, Suzanne Gallagher, and Cheryl Matthews all are grateful first to God for placing them here and giving them this opportunity, and then secondly for their families for all of their support. Ziwu's inspiration has been her son and her classmates. Caitlin Hall, Kelly Young, both thank their mothers for their love and their support. Stacy Cipollone thanks her boyfriend Kyle and her study family, Bryn and Rod. Joshua A. Binder's wife provided encouragement and supported the family, and his 3 children provided the drive for him to complete. Bryn Lubis credits the unconditional support from her husband Joe and her children for her success. Teresa McMonigal decided to be a nurse 28 years ago when she cared for her sick son. She now thanks her husband for her success and the support to follow her dreams. Jen Landis, Kate Twilley, and Matilda Mersini have been together since Nursing One, as I know. They've studied together, they've cried together, and now they can enjoy each other's success together. They're grateful to their families and especially their in-laws for their love and the support. Deborah Custers and Marzena Klosek are grateful for their children and the support that they received. Stephanie McMenamin, Emily Zaskota, Chercole Philwood, Raven Pence Barbie were all encouraged and supported by their husbands, a boyfriend, and their children. Andrew Koleski credits his very patient girlfriend, Dana McGowan, for his being here today. Paul Larson is thankful for his friends and his family. Courtney Norris thanks her husband, Tim, and very flexible parents and in-laws who helped care for her children. Genevieve Gillespie is grateful for her parents who taught her to be strong. She thanks Mike and her 4 sons, Gavin, Logan, Kyle, and Mason, who was born somewhere in the middle of Nursing One, if I recall appropriately, and Genevieve did not miss a beat. Gretchen Buckholder is grateful for her teachers, her classmates, and her friends. And Catherine Nolinsky wants to thank Allison Scott, who took her to the 24-hour Walmart at 12 a.m. the night before her very first clinical because she forgot to buy long white socks. We thank you too, Allison. Thank you very much. So during all of this education that was happening, our family here celebrated the birth of 3 babies. We had 1 wedding, which we celebrated, and 3 of our members have served in the military. Jay Snap, Tim Seal, and Kelly Dozier. Marissa Morales turned 21 during our time together. 8 members participated in the Student Nurses Club: Gretchen, Teresa, Tom, Lauren, Sarah, Jen, Matilda, and Kelly. 9 of our graduates tonight are LPNs, and I congratulate them because I'm an old LPN, so congratulations. I want to end my words with some words from someone who's not that famous. My father. My dad did not graduate high school. There was a world war going on and he went to war. But he told me to get all the education that I could because it was something that could never be taken away from me. He also taught me to treat people the way that I wanted to be treated, with dignity and respect. So I pass those words on to you. Congratulations, and I'm so very proud of all of you. All right, this time we're going to have our pinnings. We'll pin our students. Oops, I knew that was going to happen. Holly Kennedy, she's going to be pinned by me. Chercole Philwood being pinned by Mrs. Tamblin. Probably should have told her. Adrian Jackson being pinned by Mrs. Dora. Sindel Schaefer being pinned by Mrs. Warto. Joshua A. Binder, being pinned by his wife, Dana A. Binder, who from the class of 2008. I was going to say 18. Sorry. The one time I remember the year. Yeah, that's fine. Mark Diana, being pinned by Mrs. Tamblin. Melissa Morales. Mike Riddiper. Walter Ansah, pinning by Mrs. Robbins. Paul Larson, being pinned by Mrs. McKenna. Catherine Nolinsky, being pinned by Mrs. Barris. Courtney Norris will be pinned by her mother, Denise Scholl, from the class of 1991. Rebecca Weiss, who'll be pinned by her mother, Robin Moy, from the class of 2005. Caitlin Timmons, being pinned by Amanda Hathaway. Tiffany Haber, being pinned by me. Jennifer Kedash, being pinned by Mrs. Keene. Dana Walters, being pinned by her friend Kate Watson from the class of 2014. Emily Zaskota, being pinned by Cassandra Matthews. Megan McDonald, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Cheryl Matthews, being pinned by Mrs. Tamblin. Sherry Carey, being pinned by Dina Tampone from the class of 2016. Genevieve Gillespie, being pinned by Mrs. Robbins. Sunny Gallagher, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Raven Pence Barbie, being pinned by Mrs. Barris. Heather Sherrillo, being pinned by Mrs. Robbins. Layla Kwame, being pinned by Barbara Schneider. Hawa Johnson, being pinned by Barbara Schneider. Anna Stetler, being pinned by Mrs. Strecker. Caitlin Hall, being pinned by Mrs. Robbins. Tricia Goldstein, being pinned by Mrs. Dora. Rodrigo Guzman, being pinned by Mrs. Dora. Stacy Cipollone, being pinned by Stacy Callahan, co-worker and class of 2010. Bryn Lubis is being pinned by Christine Armetta from the class of 2016 and her friend. Kelly Young, being pinned by Mrs. Robbins. Marzana Klosek, being pinned by Mrs. McKenna. Kate Twilley. Lauren Durr, being pinned by Mrs. Strecker. Julie Blakely, being pinned by James Blakely, her father, from the class of 2005. Faith Burrell, being pinned by Kimberly Black, her friend and colleague from the class of 2013. Dawn Nolte, being pinned by Mrs. Keene. Stephanie McManaman. She's being pinned by her husband, Tim, who graduated from 1998. Julia Korchak, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. J.C. Knapp, being pinned by Mrs. Tamblin. Savannah Chase, being pinned by Mrs. Keene. Tara Kirk, being pinned by Mrs. Tamblin. Kristen Devlin, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Zi Wu, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Lucy Ann Sharp, pinned by Mrs. Keene. Lindsay Alvarez, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Kelly Dozier, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Sarah Burgess. Gretchen Buckholder, being pinned by Colleen Silk from the class of 1996. Jennifer Landis. Matilda Mersini. Teresa McMonagle, being pinned by Mrs. Barris. Jean Wasser, being pinned by her sister, Cheryl Menzen. Who is also a Bucks County Community College alumni. Deborah Custers, being pinned by Dr. Wortel. Tim Seal, being pinned by Mrs. Strecker. Andrew Koleski, being pinned by Mrs. Barris.
Thanks. So I get to introduce our guest speaker. When I first started nursing school, I thought I was going to be so busy until I saw Colleen's schedule. She had 4 jobs, 2 teenage daughters, a dance mom, spends weekends away, up all night on call. Please welcome Colleen Silk, Nota Francesco, class of 1996.
Well, you finally did it. Hey! So I just want to thank you for giving me the honor of speaking at your pinning ceremony. When I sat where you guys were 22 years ago, I can't even believe I'm saying that, I never thought that my life would turn in the direction that it did. When I started at Bucks, I was 18 years old, had no idea what I wanted to do. Thought maybe I'll go to pharmacy school until I had calculus. I went to my advisor and I said, what am I supposed to do with all these classes? I have no idea what I want to do. And she said to me, did you ever think about becoming a nurse? So I thought about it. My aunt was a nurse. She seemed to like her job okay, so that's what I did. Never did I realize it was going to be one of the best decisions of my entire life. Little did I know, that advisor, she just played such an important role for me. I'm sure some of you always knew you wanted to be a nurse, and others have taken different paths to get there. But you're all here together down this path now. See, the nurse can lead you in many places. After I was working for 13 years, my boss came to me and said if I wanted to keep my job, I needed to go back to school. So that's what I did. I went back to get my BSN. And one of the requirements was I had to shadow a nurse practitioner for 30 hours. Another one of the best things that ever happened to me, because that's where I met a lady that most of you probably know. She's a lab instructor here, Kathy McInerney. So I'm blessed to still work with her every day, and she is one of the biggest inspirations for me when I became a nurse. So one of the best parts about being a nurse is inspiring others. to become a nurse or a fellow coworker to become a better nurse. When someone tells you that you're one of their inspirations and they strive to be like you, it's one of the most amazing feelings. So remember that you're blessed, and remember in exchange for those blessings, you must give something back. As you start down your path to your new journey, remember that you're in the role of serving others. Nursing will provide you an incredible opportunity to make the difference in people's lives. Some of you will bring babies into the world, and some of you will hold your patients' hands as they leave this world. And some of you will be the only smile and face that your patient has seen all day, or maybe even all week. Take the time, listen and learn from your patients. They have a lot to teach you as you do them. Remember that we impact our lives of our patients with our voice. As a nurse, you have the power in your voice, and when you use that power, you can change the course of somebody's life. So as you begin down your new path, I want you to remember two things. First, you are blessed, and second, you have a voice, and you must use it. In order to exercise the voice, you need to get involved. Once you get your feet wet, get out of that first orientation, do something to get involved. Join a committee, form a committee, read the literature and ask questions, maybe even go back to school. I know some of you are saying that that's crazy. Why would I do that? Believe me when I tell you, you've already done the hard part. It took me 13 years to go back to school because Bucks was hard. And I only went back because I was forced to. Nursing is about lifelong learning, so you might as well get the credit in doing so. So, in closing, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I hope I get to work with some of you down the road because some of the best nurses I've ever worked with came out of this program. Thank you.
Known as the Lady with a Lamp because she carried a lamp while ascending. Known as because she carried a lamp each evening as she assessed her patients, Florence Nightingale managed nurses and cared. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I won't do it again. No, I won't. We'll just catch up to Florence Nightingale managed nurses and cared for British Army soldiers during the Crimean War. This evening, the lamp represents nursing. The passage of the lamp and its light this evening represents the passage and sharing of the knowledge of nursing from one class to the next in our program. That concludes our program this evening. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Does not. Nope, does not. That concludes our glitches with the microphone.
It's not over until we do the International Nurses Pledge. So the class of 2018, along with any nurse that is in here, if you could recite after me. In the full knowledge of the obligation I am undertaking. Repeat. I promise to care for the sick with all the skill and understanding I possess. Without regard to race, creed, color, politics, or social status. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care. Holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me. Refraining from any action that might endanger life or health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skill at the highest level. And to give loyal support and cooperation to all members of the healthcare team. I will do my utmost to honor the International Code of Ethics applied to nursing and to uphold the integrity of the nurse. Congratulations, nurses of 2018.
Thank you. As a show of appreciation to the instructors that have given us so much throughout the past 2 years, we have a small token of appreciation for all of you.
Now we're done. This concludes our program this evening. Our graduates are going to process out in their entirety and meet in the Lynx Pavilion, but the stage will remain available for you to take family pictures, so they'll be back in, if you could just allow them to all process out. Thank you so much for your attendance this evening.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right.